from what it seems, Sabrina Ionescu followed her on Instagram yesterday, which is not an ideal scenario for the Indiana Fever if you are competing with the New York Liberty, because everyone's saying, oh, she'll take a hometown discount to, stay near Caitlin because of her business. But, it's not like her and Caitlin are suddenly not going to be friends anymore. And you better believe, being in New York.
Ionescu followed Lexie Hull on Instagram yesterday. That might look like normal social media activity, but it can actually mean something bigger. It could be a sign that the New York Liberty are interested in her. If you're the Indiana Fever, that should worry you. It suggests another team is paying attention to one of your important players. Indiana definitely wants to keep Lexie Hull, but wanting a player and being able to afford her are two different things. Money and salary limits could make it very hard for them to keep her. And in today's league, even small signals like this can point toward bigger moves happening behind the scenes. These little hints often come before major roster decisions are made.
She is now a restricted free agent, so she can't take a hometown discount. As far as I'm aware, I don't think she is allowed to negotiate a hometown discount to stay. I need to be 100% sure of that. Restricted free agent, WNBA rules. I need to make sure of that.
The problem Indiana is dealing with. Lexie Hull is a restricted free agent. That sounds like the team has control, but it actually makes things complicated. She is allowed to talk to other teams and even agree to contract offers with them. Then Indiana has only two choices: match that exact offer or lose her. They can't negotiate a lower deal or ask her to take less money. Once another team makes an offer, Indiana either matches it fully or lets her go. That puts all the pressure on Indiana instead of the player, which is what makes this situation so difficult. It also means they are reacting to other teams instead of controlling their own future.
And you might be saying, oh, but how is that? The New York Liberty have 3 max contract players. The odds of Sab taking a regular max over Supermax is relatively high. The odds of John Quell taking the regular max, the odds of Stewie taking a 200k pay cut is relatively high. These are players that might take that pay cut. But if we're being real here, they also have an entire team of minimum contract players. Their whole team are reserve free agents.
Let's look at her value. Bridget Carleton recently signed a deal worth $1.4 million with Minnesota. She might be slightly better than Lexie Hull, but they are very close in skill. Both are strong defenders, good shooters, and important team players. So if Carleton is worth $1.4 million, Hull could be worth around $800,000 to $1 million. The issue is that several teams can easily afford that amount. Indiana might not have enough cap space to match those offers. And once multiple teams get involved, her price could rise even higher. That kind of bidding situation is exactly what Indiana wants.
And not only that, Hanju is coming back, who is a 6'11 giant. Hanju is coming back. Raquel Carrera is coming over. They might be able to convince Maria Foto to come over. They only lost Kane via expansion draft. I think Rebecca Gardner is a reserve free agent. BLH is a reserve free agent. They can get a solid championship starter on a minimum. Phoebish is pretty much on the minimum.
Think about New York's situation. They already have 3-star players on big contracts. Sabrina Ionescu and Jonquel Jones may take slightly smaller deals, and Brianna Stewart might even accept less money to keep the team strong. These players have already earned a lot and want to keep winning. Meanwhile, the rest of their team is filled with players on minimum contracts. Those players either accept a minimum salary or don't play in the league. That's how New York creates extra salary space. It's a smart strategy that allows them to stay competitive while still adding new talent. It also shows how serious they are about building another championship team.
Won't offer her that much. Bridget Carleton is barely better than Lexie Hull. She's better, not by much. Lexie Hull is basically an equivalent in terms of effectiveness to Bridget Carleton. Carleton's getting paid $1.4 million. So, absolutely, a team that has a bunch of cap space might throw $1 million at Lexie Hull. And that's the scary thing about all this, is the Fever can't match that. The Fever just can't. And I don't think Lexie Hull is worth it.
Is also getting stronger, not weaker. Henshu is returning, giving them more size. Raquel Carrera is joining from overseas. Marine Yohannes might also come back. They only lost one key player in the expansion draft. Other players like Rebecca Allen and Bet-Nigel Laney Hamilton can return on small deals. Kayla Thornton has already shown she can contribute on a minimum contract. So New York can keep their championship team, add more talent, and still have enough money to offer Lexie Hull a big contract. That makes them a serious threat in this situation. They are not just maintaining their level, they are trying to improve it.
A hometown discount? I think Lexie might take a hometown discount, but it's within reason. Like, Lexie might take a hometown discount, but like, I don't think we're going to see Lexie taking a hometown discount to go and to basically go and, or between Fever and New York. I think it's going to be for business reasons, not because she loves Indiana or anything. And obviously you've got then, you've got the extra.
Now compare that to Indiana. The Fever expect Kelsey Mitchell to return, and she is one of their best players. But she is also a free agent and will need a big contract. If Indiana tries to keep both Mitchell and Hull, that will take up most of their salary cap. They also have Aaliyah Boston, whose contract will soon increase, and Caitlin Clark, whose deal will also grow. Nalissa Smith is still in the roster too. When you add everything up, the numbers just don't work easily. Something has to change, and whatever decision they make could affect the future of the team. They are clearly facing a very tough financial situation.
And at the end of the day, when it comes to Lexie Hull, the Indiana Fever basically have they have two Lexie Hull type players in Sophie Cunningham and Hull, and ideally you want both. It's looking like they might not be able to afford both, and it really just depends on who Lexie Hull's meeting and what she wants. Because if she goes and takes meetings with teams with a bunch of cap space, like
this is where things get risky. If Lexie Hull starts talking to teams with money, the situation can quickly get out of control. For example, Dallas could offer her a 2-year deal worth $1 million per year. They need players like her good defense, strong shooting, and leadership. She would help improve their team immediately. Dallas could still manage their future plans and build a strong lineup. Adding someone like Hull could make them a playoff team right away. And once one team makes an offer, others may follow quickly. That creates even more pressure on Indiana to respond.
a bunch of cap room, I'm offering Lexie Hull a 1 year, $1 million. Heck, I might offer Lexie Hull a 2 year, $1 million a year, to make sure that they have Lexie Hull for the 2 years, and then they don't have to pay her a max once Paige Becker's max contract kicks in. I'd pay her 2 year, $1 million a year if I was Dallas, especially because you can afford her for 2 year, $2 million, or sorry, 2 year, $1 million a year. You can afford a Rike and a Supermax, and you can still give Azare $1 million a year. Suddenly you then have, if you're not getting Dearica Hamby, suddenly then your team is Arike, Paige, Lexie, Azare, and you go in the draft and you take back.
And it's not just Dallas. Any team with extra salary space and a goal to win should be interested in Lexie Hull. She brings defense, doesn't need the ball much, and can shoot well from distance. She has playoff experience and knows how to play in big moments. Most importantly, because she is a restricted free agent, other teams can force Indiana into a tough situation. Indiana will either have to pay more than they want or lose her without getting anything back. That's why she becomes such a valuable target across the league. Players like her are always in demand.
Not afford to outbid these teams, unless of course they plan on getting rid of Kelsey Mitchell, which I don't think they are. I think it's going to be one and done with Kelsey Mitchell. Look, how big of a loss is Lexie Hull? I don't think it's as big as people think, but it's still a loss. It is, it is absolutely still.
And some people think Lexie Hull might accept less money to stay in Indiana, but that might not even be possible. The rules around restricted free agency make it unclear if Indiana can negotiate early or if they must wait for another team's offer first. Even if they could, why would she take less money? She is from Indiana, and she doesn't have a strong personal tie to the city. Her main connection is playing with Caitlin Clark. Also, New York is simply a better organization right now. They have better facilities, coaching, and management, and they just won a championship. If both teams offer the same money, she will likely choose New York. Indiana's only big advantage is Caitlin Clark, and that may not be enough. On top of that, Indiana already has another player similar to Hull in Sophie Cunningham, which makes the situation even more complicated. This leaves Indiana in a very difficult and risky position.